The certification tests really ask you to take a broad overview of the platform and understand how the pieces and the capabilities provided on the platform can be used to fit together in order to deliver a solution for a customer.
Certification proves that an engineer not only has that real-world experience, but also has the technical knowledge to be able to be certified and to operate at the level that is required.
What certification offers that experience doesn't is peace of mind. I'm not only talking about self-confidence, but also for our customers. Having us certified working on their projects really gives them peace of mind that they're working with a partner who really knows what they're doing.
Hi, I'm Priyanka and welcome to the module Where Do I Store This Stuff? In this module, you will see how you can take advantage of managed storage and databases for cloud applications. So far in this course, you've learned what GCP is, why you should have a solid platform before beginning a GCP transfer, and how GCP supports the building of apps. In this module, you will learn about storage and database options in GCP. The objective of this module is for you to be able to implement a variety of structured and unstructured storage models. To achieve this goal, you will need to meet the following learning objectives. Discuss the different storage options that exist in the cloud. Differentiate between structured and unstructured storage in the cloud. Compare the role of the different cloud storage options. And explore the use case for relational versus NoSQL storage. You'll also describe leveraging cloud storage as unstructured storage, and explain relational database options in the cloud and describe the NoSQL options in GCP. These are the topics that make up the module. First, you will learn about the different storage options available in the cloud. Then you will see the difference between structured and unstructured storage, and how you can leverage unstructured storage using cloud storage. A hands-on lab will allow you to explore a range of activities applicable to cloud storage. You will then review the use case for SQL managed services. Next, you will explore Cloud SQL, and then complete another lab where you will import data into Cloud SQL and perform basic data analysis. You will discover how to leverage Cloud Spanner and explore the available NoSQL options. You will then learn how to use Cloud Data Store as a NoSQL document store. You will complete the module with an app development activity that requires you to store app data in Cloud Data Store. And then you will learn how Cloud Bigtable can be leveraged as a NoSQL option. The module will end with a short quiz and a recap of the key learning points covered in the module.
Hey everyone, how are you all doing? Welcome to the second day of 30 Days of Cloud. I'm Gargi, DSC lead from Langara College. This event is a special one as it has been organized by the GDSC community of 16 colleges and universities across North America. And not only that, but this 30 Days of Cloud series will be covered by experts for students from little to no background and take you through this journey to build a strong foundational background so that you can further decide from these career paths you would be interested in. So here are those career paths. But even if somehow you're not interested in any of these paths, I personally think that it's always a good idea to learn something new. And just by being here and networking with so many people from different backgrounds, it'll be an amazing experience for you. Apart from all these opportunities, and I won't quote Madosha on this, as he said yesterday, but all I can say is that if your college or university have the maximum number of students completing all the modules, then there is a chance for your chapter to win some swags, which will of course be distributed amongst the students. So keep that in mind just in case something like that approves. So I hope I've given enough motivation to you all to join this campaign. Now, here are some important links that you need to go to in order to get access to all the materials that we'll be covering throughout this event. So the first thing you need to do is go and register to this cloud coach. I hope someone gave you the link in the description. So it's pretty straightforward. You just have to give your email and select your school from the list. And once you click on next, it'll just give you a video which shows how to create a quick labs profile public. So this registration form will help us to track down all the students that are from a particular university or college, and by the end of this 30 days of cloud event, we'll have a ranking based on how many students have from a particular university, how many students have the total number of badges from that university or college. So apart from that, you'll need to set up a quick labs account public, as I said earlier. So to do that, you'll need to sign up and join to quick labs, which is pretty easy as well. Just need to join using your Google account, and it'll ask you to give some permissions regarding your account. And after that, you'll be able to see this homepage. You just have to go to your profile, and since I've done some of the labs or courses, there is a list down here that you can see, and you just have to make your badge profile public. So yeah, make your profile public. So after you make it public, you will be able to see your badges right here. I don't have one yet, but if you have that, you'll be able to see those badges. Okay. So next is, if you have any difficulties regarding registering into any of these, you can go to this amazing platform, Kumo Space. So I already have this up. So this is pretty cool and awesome, to be honest, and you should definitely check this out. You can have multiple drinks that you can see, and you can even watch this video right here. Yep, this is quite meta right here, but yeah, you can go and check this space out. Now, next, I'll give you an overview of what labs that we'll be covering this week. So yesterday, Sheridan College was responsible for cloud computing fundamentals. And if you missed out on yesterday's event, you can go and check out the YouTube live video. And I hope someone will give you the link to that in the description, in the chat somewhere. And today we have this event, Infrastructure in Google Cloud, which will continue on the Tuesdays. So today we'll be doing a cloud storage quick start in Cloud Console and in CLI SDK. So, but next Tuesday we'll have these topics, these labs that we'll be covering, but which will be done by another college. I think it's Lone Star College. They'll be doing this. And similarly, we have this event that we have on Wednesdays and this event on Thursdays. So before doing these labs, I'd like to welcome Mark Johnson, who would be covering all the concepts behind those labs and will make you understand all the concepts behind that. So welcome, Mark. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Garni. Appreciate your time and thanks for the invite. I'm excited to be here to talk to you today about these labs that you all will be completing in Quick Labs. And I also have a few slides to go over to kind of give you some understanding of cloud storage. So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right. Excellent. So really excited to talk about cloud storage. You're going to be going through this in your lab that you'll be taking, as Gargi just mentioned. And just to give you a quick overview of what we're talking about today, it's cloud storage, of course. But before we go really deep into it, I'd like for you to just to understand from a high level some of the different storage options that exist within Google Cloud. So as you're looking at this slide here, it gives you a good representation of the different, when you're looking at compute, networking, big data, machine learning, and then we get to storage, and then operations and tools. But once you look at storage, you're seeing all of the main popular versions of or ways you could store data within Google Cloud. And we're going to be talking about, of course, cloud storage, but also keep in mind, and as Gargi mentioned, we have Cloud SQL, there's Spanner, Firestore, and Bigtable. So as you see, both of those are grouped for relational databases and then non-relational databases. And then BigQuery, like for your data scientists from a data warehousing perspective. So if you're bringing in lots of data and you need to get a better understanding of it, that's where BigQuery will really help you. But the first thing I like to do, just talking about cloud storage, and you'll go through this in the lab, is that really the first thing you're going to need to do is understand the storage classes. Okay, so when we're talking about storage classes, what you're trying to understand is, okay, what type of class do I need to choose for the data that I want to put in the cloud storage? So looking at the four options, you have standard storage, nearline storage, cold line storage, and archive storage. Now, the popular one, which is also the most expensive, is standard storage. And that one is really good. Focus on that fifth column where it says use cases. So let's say you have a WordPress blog or website and you're serving website content. Let's say you're streaming videos, things like that, mobile and gaming apps. That's where standard storage really comes into play, because it's not only is it multi-regional, or could be regional as well, but multi-regional means at least 2 to 3 Google Cloud data centers all over the world. So you could, Google automatically chooses those for you. And then when you get down to nearline storage, the key difference is that the duration in which you need to keep your data in GCP before, downloading it out is 30 days for nearline, and then for cold line, it's 90 days. And as you see the use cases, let's say you're doing a data backup, let's say you're just looking at data maybe once a quarter, something like that. Those are some very good use cases for the nearline and cold line, and the price is cheaper as well. And then the cheapest storage option is archive storage. And just as the name suggests, archive, let's say for legal reasons, you keep data in Google Cloud for at least 1 year, and you'll get the cheapest cost. And so if you're doing any kind of disaster recovery for a company you work at, or you just need to, like I said, legal reasons, hey, I got to hold on to data for 7 or 8 years, that's where archive storage would be a good use case. So a little more info about cloud storage itself. When you're setting it up, you're going to have to choose these different options here. So when you're looking at, let's say, your bucket attributes, you're choosing a name, which you're going to do that in the lab. You'll choose the storage class as well, as we just talked about. But what I want you to think about on this one is it's going to be very frequent in cloud, especially GCP, is your access control lists and your IAM policies. And those are just who has access to this data. So you'll actually go through some exercises, determining who can access this data. And then those last two, when you're talking about object versioning and object lifecycle management rules, think of those as that, hey, if I delete a file, do I have a backup of it so I could version it? Or for lifecycle management, let's say I'm using all this data. Let's say I got 50 files and I'm using them frequently over this next month. But let's say 2 months from now, I want to move that into, say, nearline storage, so I don't pay as much money. That's where you could set up a rule and you could change the storage class on it. This next one, I won't read every bullet here, but this is just basically talking about the different characteristics, applicable to all these storage classes. The main thing is the unlimited storage, because except for, let's say, 5 terabytes per file is the biggest file size for one in particular file. The low latency, of course, there's no speed difference depending on which class you choose, so that's very key. And then when we get to this next one, I really like this because this is showing you how you get data in the cloud storage. So when you're looking at these 3 options, these are pretty much the most popular ways of getting cloud data into your cloud storage bucket. So let's look at the first one, online transfer. I'll give you an example. Let's say you have a website already running. Let's say you have data in another cloud provider. You can use the online transfer, that's more, another cloud provider would be more of the storage transfer service, but the online transfer, let's say I have data just on my computer. I can just drag and drop files into it, just like you would maybe use Google Drive for or something like that, or even a command line tool. But that storage transfer service, if I have data in another cloud provider, I can set up automated transfers of data. So if I'm doing a migration or I'm doing, working on a big project, I can automate this and make, the transfers happen a lot faster without me manually doing it. So that's really the main difference between those first 2 options. And then that last option, let's say you have like 2 terabytes, 10 terabytes, 10 petabytes, would probably be a better way to explain it, of data, and your internet connection is too slow to move that data into Google Cloud. So with that one, if you set up a transfer appliance, if you opt for this option to get your data into Google, Google will actually send you this appliance, this physical device that you could load all your data into it. And then from there, you would send it back to Google and they would load all the data in the cloud storage for you. So that's these are the 3 options to think about when you're getting data into cloud storage. And then the last one, before we have a quick question, is I like this because this shows you how Google Cloud Storage works with other services within Google. So Compute Engine, let's say those are your virtual machines. You could have images that you use to create your virtual machines, or any type of script to start them up. It could be stored in cloud storage. When you look at Cloud SQL, if you have like a database, the data that you want to put in your Cloud SQL database can actually come from cloud storage. Same thing goes for BigQuery. And then when you look at App Engine, let's say you have a website that's running, it's a service website, and you want to get data from cloud storage, you can also use cloud storage for that. So last question is, your application transcodes large video files. Which storage service should you consider first? And if you said cloud storage, you'd be correct. So that's the correct answer. And that wraps up my slides for now. We'll turn it back over to you, Gargi.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. Yeah, I actually do have a question. There was one question in the chat as well regarding how does a CDN plays into this, like what role CDN plays. So can you talk about that a little?
Sure. Yeah. So a content delivery network, let's say you have data that, give an example. If you have users, let's say in a region like Germany or something like that, and you want to have, let's say you have a cloud storage bucket, let's say in North America, and you want to actually have those users in Germany access that data faster, you could set up what's called a cloud delivery network with CDN, and it basically puts a copy of those files closer to those users in Germany so that they won't have to go, transfer that data from North America. So a CDN is used to speed up, especially good for like static websites, things like that. It's a great question.
Yeah, I have another question. Like, how is Cloud SQL like different from other options? Like how can we, what kind of a difference? Yeah, you talked a lot about like cloud services and stuff like that, but how is it different from other options?
Yeah, so Cloud SQL. Think about if you were. It's more as a database. So let's say, for instance, you have like you worked at a bank, and a lot of you're dealing with a lot of transactions. So, or even if you think of like a typical spreadsheet where you have columns and rows. So that's what a relational database is. So if you have any type of data that you're, doing any kind of calculations or formulas, things like that, that's where MySQL Cloud SQL could be used to set up a MySQL database or a PostgreSQL or even a Microsoft SQL database. So it's really for those database options. So, but think banking transactions is always a good example to think about when you would use Cloud SQL. Same thing with Cloud Spanner is very similar, but it can go globally. It can go all across the world.
So yeah, in the second lab, we'll actually be creating Cloud SQL Instance. I just wanted to know more about that because we don't have enough information in the modules itself. Like, what is an instance and how is it related to like Cloud SQL? Can give some brief idea about that.
Yeah. So from an instance, think of an instance as you're setting up a computer, right? So you're setting up a server, so to speak. So when we say set up a Cloud SQL instance or a compute engine instance, we mean basically we would go into Google Cloud and say, hey, I want a server that has X amount of CPU, like storage, memory. You would choose those options. And then once you hit create, it would then create that Cloud SQL or that compute engine virtual machine. And then from there, that server will be set up. And then that's where you would be putting in your data or setting up or developing your application on.
Yeah, thank you for that.
No problem.
Are there any other questions? I don't. Any other questions that in the chat if anyone wants to ask to Mark related to.
Mark, very quickly, we have a lot of students who also use Firebase and serverless. Where does that fit into, and what's the best place to use it? Because we do have applications that are built on Firebase, but then sometimes we get the complaint saying, "Oh, it's really slow," or because they put everything on it, which is not built for that purpose. So, how do you create the hybrid between Firebase and, let's say, a storage bucket or GCP overall?
It's a great question. So I think, Firebase definitely think about a lot of mobile apps from a serverless perspective, as you mentioned. So it's really good for that. When you want to start, tying it into like cloud storage, think about so with a lot of all these Google services, the APIs are open that you can really connect a lot of them together and leverage. Let's say, as I mentioned earlier, cloud storage. Maybe you have a lot of users in a particular region or area. Maybe putting that data in cloud storage would be better, than maybe storing it in Firebase. It really just depends on how you're using the data. But I would definitely look at it. It really would be very specific to that application and how you're working it. But all these things, whether it be you may see something like App Engine using cloud storage and MySQL, or you may see, and then they maybe send some data into BigQuery to do some analytics. So it really just depends on what you want to use that data for, what you're trying to get out of it.
Yeah, awesome. So, any other questions that we have for Mark? And even if you can't think of it right now, he'll still be there in Kumo Space if you can go there and hang out with him, maybe ask some other questions related to cloud or his experience. He has a lot of experience and you'll learn a lot from him. So if you can go and hang out on Kuma Space, that'd be great as well. Apart from that, Uh, yeah, maybe we should start with the lab, if that's okay. Oh, there is one question by Ben, though. Oh, think, I think Firebase Storage. Oh, it's just manage. I think Firebase Storage is just cloud storage with some more capabilities. Firebase or Firebase interactions, you can manage Firebase storage buckets from GCP. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep. You could tie into it. Correct.
Yeah. So now, as we did yesterday, so today we'll be covering these two labs. So if you have, like, while completing these labs, if you have any questions, there will be many people inside Kumo Space to help you out with that. But yeah, let's begin with the labs. Thank you, Mark. Thank you so
No
much.
problem.
For,
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
yep. So to begin, I already mentioned these links, right? So one of the links was for the Quick Labs modules that we'll be covering today. So if you go to this section, Keystone section of Quick Labs, you'll see this. But the most important thing is that you need to do this course using an incognito window. So you need to open this window and paste this. And need to copy this code and roll to the infrastructure in Google Cloud, which is the topic for today. Quickly paste this. And yeah, you might see some captcha there, but yeah, I usually don't get that.
And Gargi, the students are welcome to, they don't need to go through all the labs. They have the flexibility to understand how to do it once or twice and then finish it on your own. As long as you registered on our platform, we'll be able to track to see whether you completed the labs. So it gives you a lot of flexibility. So don't feel pressured that you have to finish everything today itself. What I can recommend is definitely reach out to your friends. It's better to do it with somebody as a buddy, and then compare notes and see how things go. And if you ever get stuck, Kumo Space is available during these sessions, and you can even go mingle with anybody else that you are collaborating with. So it's a truly collaborative event that you don't have to put too much pressure on learning. So, and the other thing is you can go over these labs multiple times, have it as a reference in the future, and then experiment and see whether you can build something on your own. Like Mark said, that if you structure it properly, you're not going to end up spending too much money on GCP itself. And you can bring your current applications and see how that presents, your websites, and see how it looks. And it's truly flexible. So, and let us know. We'd love to see what projects you ended up hosting on GCP after going through these sessions, after going through these workshops. And then we can even encourage you to join and share some of those for our solution challenge that's coming up in the new year.
Yeah, exactly. So today we'll be doing this cloud storage quick start CLI SDK. So as we learned that cloud storage allows worldwide storage and retrieval of any amount of data at any time. So, and cloud storage files are organized into buckets. So in this hands-on lab, we'll be learning about how to create that storage bucket, upload objects to it, create folders and subfolders in it, and make objects publicly accessible using the Google Cloud command line. So to start this lab, you will just have to do this. And once you register using the Quick Labs, because we have this 30 days of cloud event, you will be credited 10 credits for this, so you can use that to you can use this quick labs very like for free. So yeah.
Here's like some secret sauce that all of you could. We got a question. Could you go back and quickly show how to get to this point, Gagi?
Yeah, of course.
So you got to, Rishad, you just got to go to Hey Students website, get the code, scroll down a little bit, and you see that infrastructure in Google Cloud button there, and you hit that and you enroll. But make sure by the time you get to this point, you already have a Quick Labs account created and you log in using that Quick Labs account. And then when you hit next activity, it'll automatically trigger and direct you to the correct module. Gargi did skip some of the videos because you have the opportunity to go watch those videos on your own. But then you can jump directly to the labs, which is what you really need to focus on. But the whys and the hows, you can definitely watch the videos at your own pace.
Yeah, so actually, some of the things that Mark covered today, they are already in these videos, which are presented by Priyanka. These videos are also very informative and give you an idea of Google's cloud storage. And yeah, like in the beginning of the session, we did show her like introduction video of what this module will be covering, like where do I store the stuff in the beginning, if you remember. But yeah, so you actually, so after all that, but make sure to use the incognito window, because otherwise it doesn't really work properly. It doesn't give you credits because of some caching issues. So many students did face that, myself included in the beginning. So yeah, make sure to use an incognito window. And you can always come back and complete the modules yourself. I'm just going to go through it to maybe make you aware of what kind of event, like what kind of steps that you need to take to complete this module. But it's actually very straightforward, and all the steps are very clearly written on this lab, and you'll definitely be able to do that on your own pace as well. So once you go to this storage, this lab, and start the lab, you'll be given a username and password that you can use in the Google console. So once you do that, once you click this, open Google console, you'll be directed here where you'll have to use this username and paste it here. Yeah, to next. So basically, this account will be only available to you while you're doing this session. So this is a temporary account just for your practice. And you need to accept. I'll actually make this side by side so that no one is confused. So here are the videos. I'll just quickly put that on the side. So I'm currently in Canada. I'll agree. So yeah, once you go here, there are so here are the navigation menu for the console. Yeah. So what you need to do first of all is activate your Cloud Shell. and click continue. Oh. So here they'll be showing you the project ID that you got in the beginning, and you can activate the account using this command, the GC Cloud auth list. So you can just copy it and paste this. Yep. Need to authorize. So yeah, this just shows your username that you got, the account that is created for the Quick Labs. And here are some commands from which you can see the list of the project ID and stuff like that. So yeah, it just gives you an ID. So this is just to get you used to the Cloud Shell. So now the main event is to create a bucket. So to do that, just go to the navigation menu, and yeah, you need to I can't really see that.
Gargi, quick question for you. Do you prefer the UI or do you prefer the command line when you need to create these elements?
I actually prefer the UI, but yeah, because I actually haven't worked in Linux, and
I see.
this is based in Linux, so I'm not
So
comfortable with
what you're
Linux.
doing, I mean, it can be created using the UI as well, same way as you would use GCP, Google workspace, for example. You create a folder, then you start adding your files.
Yeah. Cloud storage. So to create a bucket, you need to go to the cloud storage and and create a bucket. Pretty straightforward. And there are some rules to how you need to name the bucket, but the main thing is that it needs to be unique. Otherwise, it'll show you some, it'll not accept that. So I'll just create GCP 30 days of cloud. Is this available? Let me see. Yep, that is available. So once you create that, I'd like you to save this somewhere because you'll need this later on, the name of your bucket. But yeah, as Mark mentioned, you can choose multiple locations to store your bucket information and your data in multiple regions, or in maybe in dual region, which would include 2 regions. But for this demo, we'll be doing multiple regions. So continue. And Mark also mentioned regarding the default storage class. So the standard one is the most frequently used, and it is this standard one. It is actually used so that you'll be able to access this quite frequently. It's also called hot data because the data that you access, it'll be for when so it is for the data that is frequently accessed and or stored in brief periods of time. So when used in a region, like co-locating your resources maximizes the performance for data-intensive computations and can reduce network charges. So when used into a region, for example, you still get optimized performances when accessing Google Cloud. So yeah, so we'll continue with that. And here you need to use the fine grain one. So the fine grain is basically, it allows you to put the access permissions on specific objects in the bucket versus doing it on the entire bucket itself. And you need to, if it is checked, you need to uncheck the enforce public access, because we'll be doing one of the exercise where you can like give permission to public access and like take it out. We'll be doing that later on. So once you continue to this, yeah, you just need to create the, so here it is. So yeah, we created this right here, and now you need to check this out. So you need to check your progress on yourself. It will not be doing it automatically. So once you complete all these tasks, you need to check your progress. So a quick quiz right here. Oh. Right. So each bucket has a default storage class, which you can specify when you create your bucket. So you can answer your questions in the chat, but if you see right here, you did specify the default storage class, right? The standard one that was given earlier that I showed. Like there are like standard ones, and there was another for nearline storage or cold line storage. So yeah, that was a true. Oh. Okay, I'll not make it. I'll not maximize this because it screws up everything. Yeah, this one is a true. So now you need to upload an object into your bucket. To upload that, first you need to download this image from a temporary instance called ada.jpg in Cloud Shell. So to do that, I'll just copy this. So this is actually a portrait of Ada Lovelace. If you know about her, she was credited as the first female, actually the first programmer. And I think she's amazing. And if you look into that, it's actually a portrait of her. If you look into this link, you can see that it's a JPEG for her portrait. So yeah, once you do that, the image will be downloaded in the Cloud Shell. And you need to use the gsutil cp command to upload that from the location where you saved it into your bucket that you created. So once you do that, you need to use that to copy the into your, yeah. So what I did was, for this command, I copied it here, but because this is just an example, your bucket name, there is a shortcut. You can use tab button to get your name here in the console. So once you enter, you will be able to get the image inside your bucket. So you can see the image load into your bucket in the command line. So by using this rm, yeah, you'll be able to see this image. Yeah, this and it's not. There are some configurations and permissions right here that you can check out on your own time. But you can even upload files from there. So yeah, you can do that as well. As Madhusha mentioned, that you can do it from right here as well. But I'm just following these instructions for now, but you can always, because there is always enough time to do that. So now you can also remove the downloaded file. So just need to do that very basic remove and the name of the JPEG. So once you do that, you can download an object from your bucket. So to do that, use the gsutil cp command to download. And because we have to change it to the name. Oh, yeah. Download the image you stored in your bucket. Yeah, it's not showing it, but oh, because I removed that image. Is that why? There is some problem here, but I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out because, yeah, I think I'm missing something. Yeah. So here you can copy an object to a folder in the bucket. Yeah, I'll just and I know sometimes like these commands can be a little confusing on your own, like once you see, but once you do it on your own, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to do that in your own time. I'm just trying to, yeah, it's showing an error. I'm not sure why, but yeah, just need to check your progress here, and I think I'll just leave it for now and just go through this. Yeah, so basically, oh, yeah.
So, did you? I know you were having issues. You want to go back to it? We can look at it real quick.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think I disconnected that.
There it goes. Yeah, see, reconnect. So I think you were at the copy an object. So if you scroll up a little bit, this is copy.
Yeah. Copy an object to a folder in the bucket. Yeah.
Got it. So what you want to do there, I did see the command. It looked like it had two GSs with the colon. So
Yeah.
if you hit the up, try hitting the up arrow. It will have the last saved. And then if you couple, let's see. There we go. All right. And so let's go back. Let's get rid of one of the dashes right before the eta. Let's get rid of one of those, and then let's go back and get rid of one of the GS. That first, yeah, get rid of both of those, and then that should, and then that should do it. Yep, yep,
Oh.
there you go.
Yep. Thank you.
So, no problem.
Yeah, I think the pressure of like doing it live
Yeah, I
for the
know
first time.
for sure.
I wasn't really checking what I was typing.
No,
Yeah, I
for
should-
sure. When you got the lights on, I know the feeling.
Yeah. So yeah, once you copy an object, so yeah, this command is for copying an object to a folder in the bucket. So yeah, we got this successful command written, and yeah, you can check your progress. Oh.
So you copied it, and then what does the
I
next
think-
one say?
I think
Look up.
there
Oh, I
was.
think you download
Yeah, I s-
and then you got to upload. I think you did a.
Oh, I did remove that, but yeah, I think this command was also had some problem. Let me see. CP. Yeah, this was okay. What's this? This is the same one, right?
Yeah, it's the same. Should be able to just hit the up arrow and go back to it. Maybe sometimes it could be a little bit of a
Maybe.
delay. I didn't see exactly where. So,
This was the same. I did this one, and
yeah,
then
this is that one.
I think I need to copy.
Oh yeah, right. You're copying it to another. Yeah, in the folder in the different.
Yeah, this command was left.
To the other bucket. Yeah.
Oh,
I think you should have had two buckets, I believe.
no, I think
Or you're just moving it
To
from
create-
one place. Yeah, you're just putting
Yeah.
it in their folder. Yeah, you're just copying
Yeah,
it to a
in
different
the
folder.
folder.
Yep.
yeah. This
Yeah, so in this command here, yeah, you'll have the same name. Yeah, so basically so I'll tell you what,
do you
if
mean?
you try it like this, if you hit the up arrow and go back to and hit up arrow again to the one that worked, and then if you were to if you drag your mouse and copy like from the end of the G and JPEG back over to the in front of the GS to the GS right there, and then now
oh
no, that's fine. Then you hit and then from this perspective, if you type in gsutil, and that's one thing I would suggest when you do these. It's great. The copy paste is great, but like sometimes you have to type, it gets a little weird because you have to go back and delete. But I would suggest typing them out. So yeah, now you can just paste in that, and then from that aspect, you want to do in the / the ada.jpg, and then you do a space, and then from there the GS again. Yeah, you could just paste it what you had. You get rid of the GS though, with the dual GS now. You can go
Oh.
back to it. Yeah. And Yep, and then go to the end and then just make a folder / image. Yeah, you can just type in image folder, whichever one. Did you make? I don't know if it asked you to make a folder yet or to create. Oh yeah, you just do it right here. Yep,
Yeah, it just creates a folder.
exactly. Yeah, just
Exactly.
do it. Permission
Yep.
denied. That's interesting. Days cloud. There shouldn't be image. Oh, if you hit up and get rid of the the space after the R in folder at the end, try that. So that should do it. Yeah, now try it. Let's see. There you go.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Now the successful. So yeah, this one is completed as well.
Yep. There you go.
And now we can also list the, I think I'll just type.
Yep. Should work. It's a JPEG.
Yeah.
There's the list.
So now I can list the details of an object. Yeah, here it shows the details for the object, like what time and the size. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we can now make this object accessible to public. So
And then
come on to
Gargi,
that. I
well, I
think
would say,
only a few minutes are left, but
oh yeah, a couple minutes.
yeah. you
And
were
then
saying
for all
something.
those looking, if you hit refresh in your UI, you would see the file come up there too. There was a little refresh icon. at the
Oh
top.
yeah,
There you go. And that way you can see.
yeah.
it.
Let's see. Oh, I'm not sure why that's not working.
Oh yeah, it's you just need the
Yeah,
the,
I guess.
thing. Yeah.
Need to just type it out, I guess. Does not support. See now.
Oh, you have to have a space after the CH. So if you hit up. and
Oh,
then
yeah.
put it- There you go.
Yeah, this is updated.
Yep. Yes. Yeah. You did.
And an ACL is a mechanism you can use to define who has access to your buckets. That's true. And now we can remove this from public access. I'll just paste it right now. Only a few minutes are left, but
Yeah,
I think even if you lose your time, you can still continue. Like you can repeat this lab
Yeah,
again.
you could retry. And the good thing is you've already got all the points of the like this last part was just telling you how to remove it. But if you look at your points, you check your points, you got all 100 points. So you did all the steps correctly. So good job.
Yeah. Yes, it was great. It's great. Yep. I'm not sure why it's not submitting, but yeah, the lab is finished. So yeah, I wasn't able to complete it, I guess, but only a
Oh, you
few
got
steps
it.
were left.
Yeah, you got it. I saw the
Yeah.
100. So yeah, you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to go.
Okay, so yeah, the next lab is for the Cloud SQL. For MySQL, you just need to create an instance. So I can show you the brief idea. But let me just. I don't know where this is going. But yeah. Yeah, so second lab is to create the Cloud SQL instance and connecting your instance using MySQL client in Cloud Shell and to create a database and upload that data. I can go through that as well. Yeah, this is not the incognito window. I think I'll have to go through this again. So this is the second lab. Again, use this subscription credit. And make sure to use this username because sometimes it shows you the previous one. Okay. I'm not sure why this is showing it to me, but right. Let me just try to get this. So to create the Cloud SQL instance, you need to go to SQL option in the navigation. I'm not sure. I don't have sufficient permissions. Oh. Let me log in again. Yep, now I can see it. Great. So, just as before. So the thing is that, yeah, not everything will work properly, like perfectly. So I think you guys can kind of relate to if you'll be the first one, like if this is the first time for you to like go through this cloud platform, you can look into this video again, and if you face any problems similar to mine, you can always see the troubleshoots that Mark helped me with, right? So to create an instance, you need to first go to SQL, right here. Create instance. And we need to do MySQL. So this is the same for everyone. And you can generate. And you can copy this because you'll need it later on. Yeah, just use the default options and create instance. So this will take a few minutes. Yeah, this will definitely take a few moments. Like when I did this earlier, it took me like 10 to 15 minutes. But yeah, let's wait for that. By the time I can actually show you this video that I think is actually quite helpful regarding Cloud SQL. Oh, I just got the information that the audio is not playing. Okay. Is it playing now? Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. Audio settings. Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out, but yeah, I think, yeah. Okay, so I'll just skip this. You can watch it in your own time. I think it's really helpful to understand Cloud SQL. So let me check out if the instance has created or not. So yeah, this was the previous lab that we did. Let's leave this. Yeah, it's still uploading. Still says 4 minutes. Maybe I can just go through the lab itself just to give you an idea of the lab itself. So once you create this instance, once you create this instance, you'll have to like check this progress. And so the instance ID that you created earlier is the my instance, this. So it's actually used to uniquely identify your instance within the project. Yeah, the name itself suggests that. So there is enough information about this in these videos as well. So after this, once you go through these videos, you'll be able to get these answers if you're not sure right now. So once your instance is created, you need to connect your instance using the MySQL client in the Cloud Shell. So MySQL client is for the clients, like you will be able to access and create databases and maybe edit databases. It's for that. So first you need to connect that MySQL client to your instance. To do that, yeah, just copy and paste this command. And after you connect that instance to your MySQL client, you just need to create a database and upload that data. So to create that database, you need to use this command, create database guestbook, and just check your progress. And here is example data that you can use to fill into your database that you created. And after you do that, you can retrieve the data and you'll be able to see this in the console. So that's it for this lab. I'm sure you'll be able to do that on your own. Yeah, this will take 7 more minutes. So I'll actually give it to Madhusha if he has any final words to say. But yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you guys for being so patient and being there if you're still there. Madhusha, are you there? Okay. I think he might have left. So thank you so much, guys. Yeah, thank you for attending. And if you want to get some help, please, there will be students there in the Kumo space, so you can hang out there still. It'll be open 24 hours. So you can always go there and hang out and be there for them. So thank you so much. Take care and be there for tomorrow's event. It'll be, so the next event will be on, let me check it out. Next event will be on networking and security in Google Cloud. So that would be, tomorrow's event will be hosted by University of Texas. So be sure to be there. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
The certification tests really ask you to take a broad overview of the platform and understand how the pieces and the capabilities provided on the platform can be used to fit together in order to deliver a solution for a customer.
Certification proves that an engineer not only has that real-world experience, but also has the technical knowledge to be able to be certified and to operate at the level that is required.
What certification offers that experience doesn't is peace of mind. I'm not only talking about self-confidence, but also for our customers. Having us certified working on their projects really gives them peace of mind that they're working with a partner who really knows what they're doing.